Firearm deaths. This has become quite common in those regions where the firearms are readily available, both legally or the persons have access to illegal firearms. But whereas above all these things, there is a new challenge which is facing the societies across the globe. That is the so-called ghost guns. Now, what is this ghost guns? Ghost guns, these are the guns which are unserialized or untraceable guns. That means to say these guns can be easily assembled. They are available in parts widely on the darknet. You can buy it and assemble those parts, and this can be lethal once assembled. And within 1 hour, you can assemble the gun and you can use the guns. And that's it's not only handguns, even assault rifles can be assembled. And now you can imagine the impact of this lethality to the society. As such, see, the firearm death investigations means usually involves the components like the tracing the accused and correlating with the type of weapon, because the weapons can be easily identified once the ammunition has been identified or retrieved from the crime scene or the body. And then we subject those splinters or the bullets and the suspect's weapon and correlate and then trace the owners of the weapon based on the serial number which is present on the firearms, and these firearms are audited, thereby it can be traced in any part of the world. The biggest challenge posed by these ghost guns are they are unserialized and they've never been audited. That means it poses a greater challenge for the investigating officer to correlate the weapon of offense or the weapon which has been used in the crime, and the second part is to correlate with the crime scene and at the same time to correlate with the accused. That means to say a greater challenge to the so-called investigation officer. The other most dangerous part involved in this so-called ghost gunners, that means this sort of weapons can, once it can be easily assembled in home with putting the parts together, that means the minors or the persons who are prevented from access or buying those through the legal source will have a direct access to this sort of weapons. That means these are the individuals who are most likely criminals, or there is a possibility of the society where there are firearm deaths or the crimes involving the firearms like the robbery, extortions. So all these things, there may be a possibility of an increase in such crimes. Hence, regulation of these ghost guns is become a biggest challenge, and it's a very important need of the hour. So, what are those regulations which are? So, the most important suggestions I would like to give in this video is first is trace those websites, identify those areas where the marketing is on, and punish them and include them as if they are waging a war against the state. Such sort of laws should be applicable for such individuals. And for the person who buys this particular arms and is he uses these arms or may not use this arm, any confiscations arising out of this sort of purchase, that should be included under UAPA in India, or they should be included in the Arms Act, and they should be punishable accordingly. So, this is what is the need of the hour to prevent such crimes. And once, if the ghost gun is used in a successful crime, in that case, definitely the person is not only been tried for that particular offense, maybe a robbery, a theft, or a murder, but it should also be included of such laws like a war against the state, or in the so-called the Organized Crime Act, or in the so-called UAP Act. The recent killings of the United Healthcare chief CEO of the United Healthcare in New York. That is one such examples where the ghost gun has been suspected to have been used. Or the German synagogue shooting where two persons were killed, and this was again a ghost gun was a suspect. And another most important, that Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, he was killed by the ghost gun. So these are the notified or the so-called identified crimes where ghost gun were used. But there are so many examples which might not have been traced so far, and the possibility of such ghost guns which has been used cannot be ruled out. So it is in India, it is better that the law enforcement agencies or the persons who are responsible for the legislation take note of this before a serious crime happens or the ghost gun goes in the wrong hands, and the prevention is the only mode, and then comes so called the after crime thoughts like the punishment. Thank you.